Welcome to Open Arms, an honest conversation about firearms. Hey everyone, I'm your host Brian Lockerman, and today we have Nikki back at the controls. What's happening, Nikki?
Hello.
I love having you there. It makes me feel more comfortable, that's for sure. Anyhow, Nikki and I meet more and more people every day. It's fantastic. And one day we were driving up the 101 freeway, and I saw this truck in the distance with all its American flags, hood wrapped, mirrors, signs on it. I said, Nikki, let's get up to this truck. We get up to the truck, toot our horn, thumbs up, everything like that. And we pulled up in front of him. We were on our way to Godspeak Church. I said, Nikki, I bet you he's going to pull in the parking lot of Godspeak as well. You just watch. And sure enough, he did. So we got to talking to him. His name is Jerry Piani, and I got Jerry Piani on the show today. Welcome to the show, Jerry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being here.
Awesome. Now, Jerry, you have a lot of history about that truck, don't you?
Yes, I do. I have quite a bit of history about it. In reference to flying just, like just one American flag and going on a little bit of a protest rally of my own around town and seeing the reaction and then being invited to other rallies because I started adding more flags. I can get up to about 16 flags right now, which is, upsets a lot of people because they're American flags.
Yeah, I know. I don't get that, Jerry. Why is that?
I don't get it at all either. It's the I think it's the attitude that they don't want to admit that they were wrong, and so when they see an American flag, they think, oh, that's on the other side of the value system that I don't believe in. So I don't want to say thumbs up. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to flip him off, or I'm going to cuss at him.
I know. No, I know. Now, have you been getting a lot of that flack out there?
Well, actually, you know what? It's lightening up right now.
Oh, good.
People are coming to their senses because they're seeing what's happening to our country.
Uh-huh.
And they know who's doing it now. Okay, because the other side's backed off. The right side's backed off, and they're not even involved anymore, so they can't blame anybody. Who's in office and who's doing it all. So
That's
so
true.
when I'm driving around now, they just give me dirty looks. But I don't get anything else. It's pretty nice.
Well, good. At least they're settling down a little bit. Because
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
you were telling me prior to that you were getting a lot of stuff, like people throwing stuff at you and things,
Yes,
correct?
yes. I've gotten a lot of flack. I've gotten letters written to my house.
Really?
I've got a couple of them here too. Yeah, I've got letters written to my house about how bad of a patriot I am, how fake of a patriot. I've been doxxed by going to the school board meeting because I wore a shirt with guns on it. God forbid you should have a shirt with guns on it because that might hurt somebody. But
Yeah.
it triggered them,
Oh, my God.
which is real funny. And so I was at the school board meeting. I had a what do you call it, a sign or a pole, and I had signs on both sides. And one sign said, "Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone," And then on the other side, it was said, "Leave the children alone." It had a snarling lion on the other side. I'm sitting right next to the podium, and there's Antifa's there, BLM is there, and they're sitting around me. And so I just was speaking back at the person who was speaking because they get up there and they say, "Hi, my name, my pronouns are," I correct that, "my pronouns are this, that, and the other," whatever they said.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing this colored shirt or whatever, and I'm laughing at them. And I'm saying, "You've got to be kidding me. This sounds stupid." So the one guy said to me, he's sitting next to me, BLM guy, he said, "I'll have to teach you how this goes when we get out of here." I said, "You aren't going to teach me anything." I said, "I'm going to teach you something when we get out of here." And so we just talked back and forth. But then they doxed me. They put my picture on Facebook, my dad's picture, my son's picture, my address.
You've got to be kidding.
All but my phone number. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I invite them onto my porch. I said, "Why don't you guys come by and we'll sit on my front porch? I have a swing on my front porch. We'll sit and we'll talk." They don't want to talk. They just want to argue. And it's like talking to that wall. You can't talk to them.
That's
So
unbelievable.
Yes, you just back off. And I've had dog crap thrown in the back of my truck. I've had mud smeared along the side of my truck. I've been run off the road twice, once in the Hollywood and Sunset Boulevard. We were rallying down there. And another time up in Ventura. What else? It's just the whole attitude of people because you're an American and you want to show that you're an American.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, exactly. If we see someone with maybe, Biden, Harris stickers and flags like that on the car,
Yeah.
what do we do, Nikki? What do we do? Huh?
I roll my eyes.
That's it. But
That's
we don't
right.
we don't attack
That's the
them.
extent of
No.
it.
Yeah, we don't attack them. We don't, key their car, throw stuff at them, like you said, dog crap in the back of
Yeah.
your truck. We don't do that.
Well, they're mean, evil people.
Yeah.
They just don't have a Chinaman's chance to recover and say that, hey, we're on top now because they're not being on top anymore. They're getting down to the middle and they're going to the bottom right now, and
Yep.
we're starting to get on top right now.
That is true. Would
Yeah.
you mind reading one of those letters?
Oh yeah, I'll read one of them to you.
I gotta hear this.
Uh,
This is interesting stuff, right, Nick?
Well, this is a lengthy letter, so I don't really want to bore you guys with this. But anyway, let me get one of them here. Oh, but
I can't believe
this
people.
is
Wait,
a
wait.
long one.
Before you start reading, so people went as far as to do this,
Yes.
write a letter, and no,
Yes.
they mail it to you or just pinned it on your door.
Oh, they mailed it to me in the mail. This is from the mail.
So
It
they got
says-
your address.
It says resident, fake patriot, fake veteran.
Oh my!
That's
God.
one letter, and then the other letter says, Jerry Traitor Patriot. Now, can you get that? Because I fly an American flag, I'm a traitor.
Unbelievable.
My dad died in the Second World War under General George S. Patton in the Battle of the Bulge, and he was fighting for our freedom. So I was in the Marines, and I'm fighting for our freedom. I'm just carrying on the family name, that's
you
all.
go. You know what's so funny? Nikki and I went to a rally the other day with Tim McCarthy. It was right in the corner.
was there.
Oh, yeah, were you at the corner?
I was the one driving by with the train horn blasting.
Oh, that's right. We did see your car. We did see you.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that was me.
so a lady stopped. A lady stopped at the intersection, rolled her windows down. She goes, "What'd you say, Nikki? Something about
She said, "What do you have to be proud of?" This was the 4th of July weekend.
Really?
yeah. What do you have to be proud of?"
You can leave the country, right?
Exactly. You can head on out of here.
I know,
Doesn't
right?
matter. But I've got something that really pushed me back when my mother died. I have to tell this story because this is a
Sure.
heartwarming story and it's a patriotic story.
Sure.
My mother died in about 2014, so I decided, or she told me, she said, I want you to take some of my ashes and take them to Dad's grave over in Margraten, the Netherlands, and spread some on Dad's grave. I said, okay, I'll do that. So she passed, and I took some ashes in a bag, and I had a lady write a real nice a prayer for me, about a page-long prayer, and it was really great. So I get to the cemetery, and I see his headstone, and I polished it up a little bit and put some sand in there so you could read his name and everything else. His name was John T. Piani. And so as I'm leaving, I said, well, I'm going to take the American flag. So I had a little American flag. I rolled it up, put it in my back pocket. I got on the bus, and I go into town. I get off the bus, and I'm walking through town. And somebody behind me in a gruff voice says, hey, you an American? And I'm thinking, uh-oh. Here it comes, capital this, capital
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Obama this, Obama that.
Ah.
So I happened to think, yeah, you better believe I'm an American. So I says, yes, I'm an American. He said, what are you doing here? I said, well, I was just visiting my dad's grave in the American cemetery over there. And so he said, really? He said, hold on a minute. He said, hey, come here, family. And he had about mother, father, and who else was with him, and some kids. And he said, I want to introduce you to a guy whose father gave his life for our freedom.
Oh, wow.
And that, to me, set me off. And I says, how can those people over there be so patriotic toward us, and we aren't even that toward here in our own country?
Exactly, right?
Yeah, and I got that twice more on buses as I was taking buses back to my hotel.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Yeah, it is
really
great
is.
to hear.
That's a great story. I love it. I love hearing
And
stuff like that.
My friend has a Czechoslovakian wife, and over in Czechoslovakia, they have a week for Memorial Day, as we call it here. They celebrate a whole week.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
See, that's something that you don't hear.
You don't.
Not at
You
all.
know, you think CNN's covering that?
Are
Right?
you kidding me? They're going to do more trans stuff than they're going to do anything else.
I know it.
But anyway, so it was very enlightening to me. And I've been into patriot type stuff all along my whole life travel. Once I got out of the Marines is what started it. And I got into the Iranian situation where they took our hostages. Actually, that's a good story too. But I've got a lot of stories. You guys got time?
Oh yeah, we do. We got all the time in the world for you.
Okay.
You're what we want on this show.
Okay, here's a story about the Iranian situation. Okay, they took our hostages. We understand that, and they took them and wanted arms for our hostages. Well, I says, that's not right. So I got a 30-foot long piece of butcher paper, 4 feet high, and I put in there, take pride in America until Iran to go to hell. And I hung it over the Simi Valley Freeway on I can't remember the name of the top one.
Madeira or something?
No, past it, farther east.
Okay.
But anyway, so I hung it over the freeway over it. The first one to hang a sign over there, by the way. This was in 1979.
Oh wow.
And so I hung the sign up there. So this police officer, Officer Lukens, never forget his name, and there was a couple of friends of mine from Simi Valley Gym that were there, and we were waving the flag and everything else. So he pulls up and he says, hey, you guys know this is illegal. I said, how is it? I said, we've got the First Amendment right to redress our government for our grievances. I said, that's exactly what we're doing here. He says, no, no, no. He says, I'm going to cite you guys a ticket. I'm going to confiscate. I said, no, you're not taking my American flag. I says, I'm keeping the flag. I says, you can grab any flag you want and take it, but you're not taking my flag.
Yeah.
So he said, you guys held up my traffic back all the way to Madura, and I'm thinking, hey, we hit it home. All right, it's a home run.
There
So
you
anyway,
go.
so he cited us for selling something to be bought, sold, bartered, or given away. And on the rest of the site was we did it without a license. That's what he cited us for.
Oh my God.
So those two guys, they paid their bill. I didn't want to. I mean, their traffic citation. I didn't want to pay it. I fought it. I studied law for about 9 years, constitutional law.
Good.
From '79. I'm from '76 forward for about 9 years, and then so I decided, well, now I'm going to fight this myself. So I got into court after about a year fighting it, and I told the judge what my situation was and how I felt about the situation. And he says, you know what? He says, I'm going to have to dismiss this. No, he said, I'm going to have to dismiss this. He said, and he slammed his gavel down, and the whole crowd in the back, they were, yay. Like
Really?
this. Oh,
Awesome.
yeah. They're
Awesome.
clapping and waving. He said, by the way, what did you do with your American flag? I said, I got it flying in my house, sir. He said, what about the sign? I said, Officer Lukens took the sign, sir. I says, he shouldn't have that sign. That should be posted back up there again. I said, I may just go back up there and make another one.
That's great.
So, but that wasn't the end of it. Now I decided, well, I'm still upset about it because Officer Lucas gave us a cite and they left it that way, and that was in the paper. I have a picture of me on the back of my Volkswagen, and I had a little miniature sign made up. You know, take pride in the USA and tell Iran to go to hell. And I spelled Iran backwards, or the R backwards, just to tick everybody off. And I had my arm around it because they posted it in the newspaper. Or no, I called the newspaper to come take a picture. I said, this is how the people in Simi Valley feel about these arms thing that they want us to give them for our hostages.
Mm-hmm.
And so they didn't post it. And so I said, well, that's terrible. I said, what they did was some woman put Happy Birthday Dixie the very next weekend, and they put that on the front page. But they put mine, or they didn't put mine on. So I went up to I wrote out a letter to the editor. I told him, I says, how come we didn't have, recognition that you did this and did that? And I read it to her, and so she says, you really going to send it to him? I said, no. She said, oh, good. I said, no, I'm going to deliver it in person and read it to him. So I get the letter together, and I go to the, I can't remember what the name of the paper was at the time, but anyway, and I go to the editor, and I says, you know what? I says, I was doing this and doing that, and you guys put this on instead of mine. I says, you must be some kind of commie pinko fag. I says, I don't understand what's going on here. I said, why don't you, why don't you just be American and post something like that?
Uh-huh.
So he took a picture of me with my arm on the back of the Volkswagen and put it on the second page the next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. You've been doing this for a long time, then, I take it.
Yes.
Now, you also mentioned something to me about you doing truck rallies or something like that across the United States.
Yeah, oh yeah. That was the People's Convoy.
Okay.
We had so many people, and it was just heartwarming. I got letters here from kids.
Really?
I got this right here, this little ditty right here is from a lady who's 98 years old. She made up, I think, about 120 of them. She couldn't come to Hagerstown, where we were all stationed when we were driving around Washington, D.C. Beltway. So she made up all these little Christian, colored all the little Christian signs here on them.
Nice.
It says like, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. And,
Wow.
and she handed these, she had her son come and, I think grandson, come and hand these out to us. So all the truckers got these here, and we got little notes from kids. I got little notes from kids, you could hardly read them here.
Really?
When we went into towns, they already had this set up. The whole route was set up as to where we were going to stay. So people knew we were coming, but I didn't know that because I'm old school. I didn't know that they had, social media, and we had people who were, embedded with us who were from One American News. They went all the way across country and all the way back with us. One American
wow.
News.
Really?
Yeah, they had their own
Now-
RV and everything.
Now, when was this? What year was this?
22.
On 22. Okay.
22.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so about a year and a half ago now.
Okay. Okay.
It's only been a year and a half.
So you kind of put this together, just your own, will and power.
That was me. I'm sitting at home thinking, no one's pushing me, no one's saying anything.
Yeah.
It's just it was mentioned, and I happened to read it, and I saw it, and I said,
See
you know
that?
what? I think I'm going to go on that.
It's guys like you that really make a difference.
Yeah,
You know,
I
you're
wish there
out
was
there
more of me.
out there to make a change. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I mean, it's great, Jerry, to
That's
see that.
that's what I was trying to do, is just make a change somehow and do it legally and without offending anybody. But
Exactly.
you can't the word offend, take that out of the equation, because you're going to offend somebody.
Of course you are. Of course you
You
are.
know.
And that's something for the audience to recognize. You know, just speaking your mind and doing a little bit to try to make a change, it's not a bad thing. You know, it's a good thing, right, Jerry?
Exactly. Sure.
You know, we want to have more people like Jerry out there doing this. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this more and more these days too, and
Yes.
I'm liking what I'm seeing because I think we're finally, stepping up to the plate, and we are definitely making a change. Just like you said, you're getting less flack now.
Exactly.
They're starting to actually wake up and say, hey, you know what? Maybe this isn't the way we should run our country.
Right.
You know,
We have a fella from Santa Barbara. His name is Charlie. He sets up all of our rallies. And he doesn't set them all up, but he sets rallies, except for Tim. Also, he sets them up too. And we go from it's from the southern beach to the northern beach. You know, from up to Point Magoo actually, and we have our truck rally up there. Our like a tailgate party. And but on our way up there, I explained to the guys, because I'm a seasoned veteran of this, so to speak. These guys are all young kids, which is great. I love seeing the younger the better. I love seeing families coming. We have families
100%.
coming.
That's it.
Didn't you believe that? Families, and they're bringing their
Families.
kids. And we always
Oh,
nice to the kids. We play with the kids. We bring them toys, all kinds of stuff. It's really, and that's what we did across country too. The same thing.
See, Jerry, you tapped on something right there. Now, one thing my show, Open Arms, is about. We're obviously about gun safety, but it's family values, and of course, the Second Amendment. Family values to me is so important these days. And
Definitely.
you just saying that, having families come up to your events, I love hearing that. Because I'm thinking, right now we're losing that connection, that family value connection, and we need to start, doing more things with our kids, being there for them, taking them to events like that.
Right.
It makes a difference.
Sure it does.
Teaching them about American history, teaching them what America's all about.
That's right, exactly right. And teaching your kids that when you're in your car and you got American flag flying, someone comes by and beeps at you. Hey, you beep back. Hey, another soul. I
There you
love you
go.
guys. I love
There
you
you
guys.
go.
Because on the way up there, we have people all along the beach, Zuma Beach. Okay. And I'm telling these guys, these younger kids, I'm telling them, I said, listen, I've been doing this a while. I've been going cross country, this and that, and I'm explaining myself to them on the mic as we were doing the national anthem. Oh, I also lit off red, white, and blue smoke bombs during the national anthem.
Oh, wow.
I love that.
That's awesome.
That was
man.
so neat. So anyway, so I'm talking to him after the national anthem. I told him, I said, listen, I've been around a while. I'm sort of seasoned doing this. I says, you guys got to listen to me. When you're in your car and we're driving up there, our truck, whatever, and we're driving up north, I says, you guys got to remember that along the beach, they can't see us and they can't hear us because you're just driving. Whole point, I asked him, I said, what's the point of putting flags in your vehicle? He said, well, we want people to see them. I said, good. I said, how about when they're not looking? What are you going to do? You're going to blast your horn. So I have installed on my truck a train horn. And so when I have my train horn, I'm going along the beach. And Zuma Beach, along PCH, I blast the train horn. They turn around down by the water. They can hear me. And they turn around and see all the American flags flying and
Oh,
all the
man.
vehicles going by. You got to let them know you're there. Simple as that.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I mean, Nikki always likes, seeing stuff like that there too. She carries her flag around in her car. She's always,
That's good.
when she sees things like that, she's tuning her horn. She's putting her flag out the window like
That's
that.
right.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is. It's
It
great.
is.
It's something that again. I mean, we're making it. We're making it a difference. We're starting to show people.
And since when did the American flag become so political? Like you see the American flag, you automatically think Republican. It should
Exactly.
the flag should represent the whole country, Democrat,
Exactly right.
Republican. Yeah.
That's well said. That's true. It's
Mhm.
true. I cringe when I hear people just downplaying the American flag.
Yeah.
It just drives me batty. And what's funny too is our Pledge of Allegiance and our national anthem. Yeah, I grew up in school. We started a day with a Pledge of Allegiance. And the funny thing is, Jerry, over the years I haven't heard it in a while. And then we start doing the show and the podcast. We start being asked to go to these events. And we go to our first event, and what do? They open up with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm like, wow, wow.
We do that
This
also.
is fantastic,
Yes.
I'm
teaching-
like, I'm sitting there going, I'm all gloating, like, Pledge of Allegiance, finally, you
That's
know?
right. You better believe. Getting back to the flag and respecting the flag, we were in Texas, going through Texas, Little Springs, Texas, our Big Spring, Texas, And this little old lady, she had her great grandfather had a flag he had in the war, and it was all tattered and torn. I mean, it was really slick. I wanted to keep it.
Oh, wow.
But I used up 25 flags going back.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got to give them to the VFW. I still haven't done that yet. But anyway, so she said, and my great grandfather always wanted to go to Washington D.C. And she said, getting teared up in her eyes, she said, "Would you take this flag to D.C. when you go?" And we said, "Sure, we'll take it." So we took the flag, we bundled it up and took it, and we took it to Washington D.C. When we got to Washington D.C., we took I think Ted Cruz was in the lead truck at that time, and we went down through Washington D.C. and it was on a flatbed, and we drove it back, and we had a flag ceremony, and I was the master of ceremonies there,
Oh,
and
wow.
I talked about what each fold meant for the flag. And we had about 4 guys trying to piece this flag together. You should have saw that. It was really funny, trying to piece it together. And then we all said the Pledge of Allegiance at the end. Then we folded it up, in a triangle, and we brought it back to her on our way back.
Oh,
And
man.
we says, "Here you go, ma'am. Here's your grandfather's flag. He's been to Washington D.C." And she just started bawling.
Oh, that is
It was
awesome.
something else. Yeah, it was really something. I enjoyed that. That was really
Wow.
really great to see.
I love
It
hearing
was.
stuff like that. I really
You
do.
and me both.
Yeah,
Me
it's
both. It was
fantastic.
quite an experience going cross country because all people were coming out and giving us food. They'd feed us breakfast and lunch.
Really?
Oh yeah, and they'd even take our laundry in
Really?
and do our laundry at the laundromat and bring it back the same day.
Oh, man.
The police would shut down the whole place. We were going through so we could travel.
Mm-hmm.
The police in not the police, but the Illinois legislature said we're not going to allow you to come to our town, our state. And so we had a doctor on the rally, we had a nurse, and we had about 2 attorneys, I think, which is okay. We'll let them come, because they need an education too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they got someone knew that one of the legislatures in Illinois, and they called and they said, "Hey, we're coming through regardless. We got a First Amendment right." And I'm saying, "Yeah," we're all saying, "Yeah," we're all blasting our horns and everything. And so as we get to Illinois, we're going through Illinois, and they had a helicopter with a big, huge American flag flying on it, followed us all the way out.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was so cool.
Now, do you have any video footage of all this at all?
I've got some. I've got one posted on Instagram that's
Okay.
where we were sitting waiting to go out to a rally, and all the trucks were blasting their horns and everything. Yeah.
Okay, Instagram.
Yeah.
What is your Instagram? Let
It's,
the people know.
Jerry Piani. I think it's just Jerry Piani.
Jerry Piani?
No space between the names.
No space?
Yeah.
Instagram. We'll definitely post that in our video today so people
Okay.
can find you. Yeah, and use some photos of your truck too and things
Oh
like
yeah.
that, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some of that as well.
Yeah,
That's
definitely. I
fantastic.
sure have a lot of photos of my truck. Yeah.
So yeah, I love again when Nikki and I see stuff like that, she's always like, "Go, move, let's catch up that guy, go, go." She loves it. But you know what? It was great meeting you. That's how we met you.
too.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
You
Well,
know?
Godspeak was a good place to meet.
it is. It's a fantastic
Great
that
place to
group
meet.
of people up there.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic. I mean, I just love the message. I love everything
Mhm.
about it. It's just been a pleasure. You know,
Yeah.
I've had so many people on my show from Godspeak.
That's very cool.
It's great.
I got a story to tell you before you hold on.
No,
just
it's
step
okay.
in your words. When I was at Godspeak, they had Pastor Sean Foyt. Not pastor. He's evangelist, I guess you call him. Sean Foyt. Have
Okay.
you heard of him? He goes all over the whole. Matter of fact, he was just in Newport Beach at Pirates Cove, and they blessed, I don't know, hundreds of people there. Again.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he was at our church. I don't know if you were there, but you
I
might not.
wasn't.
You don't remember. Anyway, so he's at our church and he's speaking and everything. So I'm noticing his shoes. I said, so I talked to him afterwards. I walked up, lull in the crowd, and I walked up and I said, "Sean," I shook his hand. I palmed him $100 bill.
Really?
And I said, "Sean," I said, "nice seeing you out here, buddy, for the troops and everybody, for Jesus and everything else." I said, "But, buddy, get yourself a new pair of shoes." I said, "You know who makes those shoes and the Nike shoes? Some little kids over in China get pennies a day." I said, "Get rid of those shoes." So he says, "Oh, good, thanks a lot, buddy." So I was at in Arizona, Phoenix, at the other convention they had with TPUSA, Turning Point USA, with Charlie Kirk, and he was there also. So I went up and introduced myself again, and I saw Pastor Rob's wife there, Michelle, and I told her, I said, she says, "Oh, you're Jerry Piani?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, you went across country?" I said, "Yeah." So I get back to Godspeak, and Pastor Rob and I had lunch about 2 weeks ago, and so maybe 3 weeks now. And so he says, I started telling him. He said, "Well, what about your life?" And so, "You want to know?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "You don't have enough time, buddy." He says, "Oh yeah." He said, "Go ahead, spew it out." So I said, "Okay." So I told him the first thing I told him. I said, when Sean Foyt was at our church, he says, yeah. I says, well, I told him the story. I just told you. He says, you're the man? He says, you're the guy? Are you the one? I says, yeah. He says, you're famous. He says, he said, we talk about you all the way across the United States.
I heard that story too.
See, there you go.
Hey, let me shake your hand, man.
You got it.
Oh, I thought for sure he's going to pawn me $100 bill. That's what I was hoping for. Oh, like what? Just messing with you, man. Dude, I love that story. I heard that story. I don't know who told me that.
That's
but
cool.
I did. I did. That's
very
fantastic.
cool. Well, Charlie Kirk knows it too, because him and Charlie travel all the way across the country doing fireside chats.
Oh man,
Isn't that something?
that's awesome stuff. So, Jerry, what's the future hold now? What's going on?
Well, let's see. Let's just hope that in 2020, well, not hope, it's going to happen in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I still say President Trump is running the show. He's in the back with the military.
Look, you got a fan right there.
Heck yeah, you better believe it.
Uh-huh.
He's in the back with the military running the show, but he couldn't be in the limelight.
Yeah.
Because you think people would accept what's coming out right now with Hunter and the trans this and
uh-huh.
trans that
Mhm.
and the child trafficking? He's back here saying, "Oh, let it go, let it happen. We can't make any wave. We don't want to be associated with it because this is not right." And so he said, and they won't believe in it. So now all this stuff is happening. He's just kicking back, saying, "Look at what they're doing." He's playing checkers. I mean, he's playing chess, and they're playing checkers. The Democrats make a move. Oh, let's indict. Let's grab all of his papers.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You indict me. Guess who else you can indict? If you take my stuff, what about everybody else's stuff you're going to take? He's so slick. He's always
He
a
is.
couple
He
steps
is.
ahead of him. It's unbelievable. I love it.
That's Nikki right there. She's right there with you. She
Yeah.
says the same thing all the time, right, Nikki?
I feel like this is happening for a reason.
Yeah, oh, it is.
That's
Most
what
definitely.
I've always said.
That's
Most
true.
definitely is. He's kicking back for that reason, so they can all see what's going on in their own time. Not in his time when he's in office, but in their time. Now that President Biden, he's got to be doing all this because President Trump's not even around.
Yep, that's true.
I feel like
This
if
is
he
really
was
cool.
president, none of this would be exposed right now.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
No,
So I think this is happening for a reason.
No, they couldn't bring anything out like this.
I know it.
Because
I
they
know
blame him for it, and Orange Man bad. We can't have this.
it. Exactly. Right. So Jerry, are you planning any more rallies or anything like that in the future here?
We're going to have more rallies. I just don't know what occasion it's going to be. It'll probably be Trump rallies from now on.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I'm going this weekend. I'm leaving to go to Florida to see the TPUSAs. It's going to be President Trump speaking.
Oh wow.
It's going to be let's see, Lauren Boebert's going to be there. Tucker Carlson's going to be there. And all your big heavies going to be there. Mike Lindell's going to be there speaking.
Oh nice.
I'm
Very
going to
nice.
spend about a week there, and then I'm going to go travel around there and see what kind of trouble I can get into there.
There you go.
That's always fun.
There you go. Well, Jerry, it was a pleasure meeting you.
He has to read his letter.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you'd like me to read one of these letters.
Yes.
Well,
I
this is
forgot
gonna
about
be
that.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Here it says, "Dear Jerry," this was September 2022. I've got them late too, a 23 one also.
Really?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But anyway, now do you believe that your Lord Trump is a traitor? Now I really like that. Don't you like that one? So anyway, there's no way in hell you can tell me you're going to defend him now, after all the stuff that he's found in Mar-a-Lago. Actually, I'm not going to read the expletives. Anyway,
Yeah.
I would hide my face in shame if I were you. You were the biggest sucker and brought all his stupid hats and stuff. Jerry, your dad died. Brought my dad into it.
Oh,
Your
my
dad died fighting the Nazis, and you embraced Trump. The son of a man killed in action should be able to recognize an authoritarian fascist. But my guess is you were not a good student in school.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is childish, ridiculous stuff.
I mean, I can't believe that people actually really have the time to do something like that, to
Yeah.
attack you like that with a letter.
a whole letter like
look
this.
Look at this. A letter like this. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
Come on. Come on.
And then he sends me a picture of my son and some more stuff.
Oh my God.
It just,
Yeah, unreal. But anyway, I'm not gonna read the whole thing unless you want me. I don't want to read the whole thing. You want me to read the whole thing?
You don't have to. Just
Okay, yeah,
what we'll do,
you
here's
get the
what we'll
gist
do.
of
Jerry,
it.
here's what we'll do. I would get some copies of those, and maybe we'll post it to on our Instagram so people can see it and read it
Sure.
on their own. We'll put it on somewhere out there.
Yeah.
Because I think people need to see this.
But
crap.
I think he knows me because he uses my name a lot throughout the whole letter.
And you don't know who it's anonymous.
Oh, this is anonymous. I have no idea who this clown is.
Yeah, see, I love that. Here's what I love.
What a coward, right?
Hey, there
Oh,
you go.
yeah.
Nikki said it.
Yeah.
You know, look, if you're going to say that, this is what I tell people when they just give us these maybe these bad emails or comments about what we're doing. Look, if you want to express your opinion, come on the show. Let's have a talk about it. Let's go. You know, don't be a coward.
They don't
be
have
a
a
non.
defense.
I know they
They
don't.
don't have anything to say. If you talk to one of them, like I like to say, hey, come on over here, we'll talk, because they drive around some of our rallies and they harass us and everything. And so I'm thinking, well, come on over and talk. But if you mentioned anything to them, they say, oh, yeah, Trump. No, let's not talk about him. He's not around.
Yeah.
No, he's got nothing to do with anything. Let's just talk about normal stuff now. Oh, no, they can't have nothing to say.
I know
They have
it.
nothing to
I
say.
know it.
Because it's Biden who's running the show. You know
Exactly.
how that works out? Isn't that neat, the way that works out?
Exactly. Here's one for you too, Jerry. I've been trying to get some anti-gun people on my show to have a discussion.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I knew a bunch of people in my life. They're still friends of mine that have been always anti-gun. And as I'm calling everybody, they're saying, "Oh, already purchased a gun. I got trained now. I'm now a gun owner."
Really?
And I'm going one after the other. I'm saying, "Wow, it's really great." And every once in a while, I will find a person was talking to who was anti-gun, and I said, "Come on my show." I'm not doing that. Why not? If you have an opinion, let's just have a casual conversation. We're not gonna yell at each other. Just want to hear your opinion. What do you think we should do to change? You know, what's your opinions on it? I'm not gonna. They won't do it.
They have nothing to. They have nothing to come up with.
They don't.
Nothing. I've got my AR-15 in my closet, in my corner, in my closet. And I could take a picture of it and post it on Facebook and say, I've been watching this for the last 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 years, whatever I've had it. I said it hasn't done anything or killed anybody.
Exactly.
It doesn't
Right?
do a thing by itself. It has to have someone behind it, some idiot, to pull the trigger. And you go ahead and you got these trans people, and you go ahead and you put them on psychotropic drugs, you cut their genitalia off, and you wonder why they're out killing people. It
No doubt, right?
doesn't make any sense.
I know it. I know it. Again, it's crazy world we're living in right now. But you know what? I think it's starting to come back.
It is.
I think we're starting to get a grasp on our country again.
And when President Trump gets back,
Oh.
and he will, it'll be all over. But if you look up let's see, it's the Act of 1871. He could possibly be the 19th president of the United States. That's something getting in really depth. I mean, you have to get in a lot of reading going on with that Act of 1871. But it proves that he could be 19th president of the United States.
Wow.
It's interesting, isn't it?
I know it. I know it.
It's pretty
Awesome.
cool.
Okay, Jerry. I tell you, this has been all great stuff. I'm so glad you came aboard the show. I'd like to definitely have you back for maybe more interviews. You have
Sure.
some rallies and things like that. Even your thing after Florida or whatever.
Yeah.
I think you have a lot to say. You're doing some great stuff out there for us. Everybody, seriously, go to his Instagram, see what he's doing. This guy's making a difference right here. Jerry, again, thank you.
You got
It's
it.
been such a pleasure. And everybody, that's our show today. Nikki, do you want to tell everybody where they can find us?
Yes, you can find us on Instagram, openarms.tv, Rumble, openarms.tv.
Very good. And everyone, one last thing. Always remember safety, family, and the Second Amendment. Have a good day.